And good morning to you. It's time to go live from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. I'm Ramon Scott, and welcome to the morning steam for Saturday, October 28th. Let's get it right here. I have plenty of graphics at work, and we'll get to those in just a moment with all of our games today. And you can't go 5 seconds without a typo. Here we go. Saturday, October 28th. Ramon Scott coming to you, previewing the sports betting day. Uh, Review quickly last night. We got a lot to cover. We'll cover, of course, more college football. I've got the late games for you here on this show. We previewed a lot of games earlier this week, maybe answer some of your questions, but we've got like 25 games to get to here if I can in the next couple of hours. Also, World Series. We'll talk about yesterday. We'll talk about tonight. Game one goes to Adolis Garcia and the Rangers. He did it again. He's the most clutch hitter in terms of RBI in a postseason. Adolis Garcia and the Rangers win over Arizona in a thriller. Don't forget Corey Seager, the two-run bomb as well to tie the game in the bottom of the ninth. Arizona had him and let him back in, and it is 1-0 Rangers. What did you guys have in game one of the World Series? We get ready for tonight. Hello to Blake here today. And Lewis, nice to see Lewis here today. Thomas says, like and smash. Blake is ready to see if Arch Manning will play for Texas. Hey, let's just win the game. I understand we're, having to make do at quarterback or move things around. We're still Texas. We need to go out there and win. Ferner here today. And Chad is here. I'm glad you guys did well. I'm looking for winners. I'm looking for help. So let's get them today, you guys. Over to TonySpicks.com and see how everyone did here. And Ferner just got done watching the game. So great job by the Rangers last night. They're favored again here tonight. Also, how about other events last night? Certainly, there was a big slate of pro basketball and definitely had some good games, some thrillers. We got another card tonight here. Looks like about 7 games. We got 9 games, I believe, on the ice. So we're going to try to touch them all, preview them, at least give out a pick or two on these games. And also, like I said, late games from college football. There's also, Major League Soccer playoffs tonight, CFL, but we know what it's all about. World Series. Let's go to TonySpicks.com and preview what everybody's doing for today over on the site and who did what yesterday as far as winners are concerned, because I've got probably Sam and Birdie with an absolute crusher, 90% yesterday, over 7.5 units of profit. The GM crushing yesterday. 80% winners, nearly 6 units of profit. Nick Bartini, huge day, 5-1, over 4 units. Chauncey Giles, 4-0, 4 units. I should have been listening to these guys. Nick Lagaretto, 67% yesterday. Sean Dinwiddie, 80%. Tony T won his only 2 plays yesterday as well. Ron Crawford, 60%. Marlo Pettis, he's got his videos up as well. Eli Richards, Tiffany Mance, great job by the crew here. Over the last 7 days at TonySpicks.com, Pravi now is on top of those handicapper leaderboards, currently 57%. He's up over 10 units. Over the last 7 days, Chauncey Giles, also strong, 69%, nearly 9 units of profit over the last 7 days. Eli Richards, also 69%, 6.5 units of profit. Hollywood Sam's up there, nearly 6 units of profit. And Daniel Woloschuk, 4 3/4 units of profit over the last 7 days at TonySpicks.com. Over the last 30 days, Hollywood Sam, he's still up 37 units here for the month. Joseph Schultz clicking in here at 55%, 56%. He's got 14 and 3/4 units. Chauncey Giles, 14 and a third units of profit. Ben Ruhala's over 14 units as well, and Daniel Walasachuk is up 8 units. Hey, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and get our premium picks for today from me and the crew. We're going to give you some free winners up and down the network here today. We got videos on college games all over the channel. So you got one game in particular, you can find that game and check it out. Or if you just need a little boost to your bankroll, check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. 3 packs, 5 packs, 7 packs from our team today. Include those from Red Hot, probably Samba Murdy. He's up there. Daniel Walasachuk, a 3-pack today. Tony T's got a 3-pack of college football winners geared from tonight. Also, Tim Irwin, 3-pack in college football. I'm up there. Check out my 3-pack to get the day started. Most of my action is going to come actually towards the middle and late part of the slate, but I've got just started with a 3-pack here today. I'm a little light on the early card, but we've got other sports too, so I expect over a dozen premiums. If you want, you can check out my 3-day, 7-day packages. But here is my 3-pack of winners today in college football, starting with a noon slate, big noon kickoff. Check it out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Says $25 there. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout, and we'll take that down to $20. All right, click on the All Cappers tab. There you'll find the handicapper of your choice, and you can get signed up. And don't forget, we have our basically our plays just listed in chronological order here. If you choose the upcoming tab at any time, say you're in a hurry, you didn't handicap a game, whatever, you go to the game, and all these games are in chronological order, all the matchups. Check it out right there. You'll find the game that you're looking for with a pick from our cappers here. And all of our plays a la carte are $19, but don't forget to look into each handicapper, and you can often get more plays for just a few more dollars, and keep that bottom line down. Get these winners in today. All right. Thanks for listening. And let's go back to the chat now, because we got to get started on picks, selections, whatever we've got today. Ferner wondering about VGK. Want to say hello to Salty Fly Guy here today. Thank you for joining us today. That looks like my record right there is what it was. Yeah. Crushing the free. Maybe we could switch them, or let's just try to get them all right. Jacob, nice to see you as well. And we'll get started, man. All right. And let's get started with the World Series. Wipe the sleep out of my eyes. Let's get started with the World Series here with the Diamondbacks and the Rangers. Be Merrill Kelly going here up against Jordan Montgomery, who, man, he's really looked the part in the postseason. He's looked great here, since coming over to the Rangers. Been a big part of their push here towards the end of the season in this one. And I already got Chad ready to fade Montgomery here, but I don't know. The numbers have been pretty solid for Montgomery of late, no doubt about it. Even when he first came over, there were questions because Montgomery's a guy who's kind of never put it together. And Merrill Kelly, well, we saw last night some of the issues that Zach Gallen had. Now, Zach Gallen's the ace, and Merrill Kelly is, a pretty good starter. On Arizona, they made it to the World Series, blah, blah, blah. But maybe Jordan Montgomery has a little bit of the experience factor here, might be. But again, I just look at these prices and I just have to say, how can now Rangers got the money yesterday. They were $1.55, whatever it was. If you're winning if you're winning by 1 run in 11 innings, you're probably not $1.55. Now, granted, they won, and but you would think it'd be a more comfortable victory. I mean, they were behind, they were fighting back all the way, they kept coming back, and they got it done. No doubt about it. And hey, this is a baseball game. Not going to fault anybody for taking either side here. But if I'm just looking at it objectively, I'm going to have to come in on Arizona once again and take them here and all. Even if this handicap continues to be a little bit pricey, we're going to find ways to get on Arizona +1, +1.5, maybe +2, whatever it is. Every price should be good here with Arizona, no matter how you want to look at it. Even if you were to go on the alternate line and lay a run and a half, you're probably getting a good price. I just equate it as if I do not think that the Rangers should be a dollar. I don't think, even if you don't think the Rangers are the best team in the American League, say you thought one of the other teams were, even against the worst playoff team, the Diamondbacks. You can't put anybody $1.65 favorite in the World Series. I'm sure the bookmakers are just expecting that home action in their general pool, that they just need to have this price high, and it worked out. It didn't work out for them yesterday. You had to pay the winners, right? But they were able to jack up the price a little bit, and if anything, I think this price that I'm listing may be a little bit too high. Let's see here what I'm seeing. Showing some $1.50s out there, certainly right now. I'm surprised you guys didn't necessarily correct me on that. If anything, it's kind of taken away from my angle, but it doesn't change. I mean, really, realistically, still, even in this, what, $1.30, $1.35 at worst. Here, you would think for me with Rangers and Montgomery. I'll break it down for you if you want with, a batter versus pitcher and all that, but it's still not going to change the price for me. And the fact that this is just the World Series, that's all. Game number two, and still road teams have been very, very strong. Yeah, Ferner, I think so. I'm seeing some $1.40s here at some of the sharper books. I think the square books still have it a little bit high. I'm showing Bovada $1.48 right now. We can take it down even a little bit further. I don't care if you guys take my value. I don't think it's changing my position. And that total 8.5 over 15, 8.5 over 20. Didn't get there. It went over yesterday. Obviously, went over in the first five, was still sitting there pretty high late at 8 runs. And there were certainly people who probably were sitting there with tickets that said 8. Probably some with tickets that said 8.5. Didn't matter. Once the game was tied, that took it over the total in the bottom of the ninth inning, mind you. So total probably pretty solid, but we'll see here with these two. All right, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the World Series tonight. And yeah, there's some college football on, but this is uh, still where the fun lies with this time of year. So appreciate that. Enjoy the game tonight. I think I'm with the Sharps. I think the Sharps are on Arizona. I'm not sure. A big volume, high volume game, whatever. And it's probably going to be less than I don't know. I put $1.50, but certainly the Sharps were taking a better price than that. They took $1.40, $1.45, probably even a little bit less. So enjoy baseball tonight, and I'm going to get into some college football. Previewing late games today. Let me make sure I got everybody's plays in there on the World Series. Also, there wasn't many comments there, but I do see Thomas did say he thinks the Rangers will be able to do it now. Solo's going to come back in on the stakes. Fernando told everyone, everyone. Is there anybody here in the chat who Fernando yesterday did not tell? He was on the Rangers. Hello to Gerardo Ferner. I didn't listen, Fernando. I'm sorry, brother. Gerardo's got a strikeout prop for us with Merrill Kelly going over. How about that? Rangers swinging along. Luis Garcia, I mean, he's having the last laugh, you guys. No doubt about it. The Astros had their fun at his expense, and he's the one circling the bases again and again with the big home runs. Hello to Lazzy Love today. All right. Football tonight. Well, remember when we used to talk about Colorado on every show? Every show was Colorado, every segment was Colorado, and now they're just some night game, two touchdown underdogs against the Bruins. They've lost three of their last four games coming in now to this one. Still, they're a little bit entertaining, I would say, at least to say the least. Here they've given up, just a bushel full of points, and I don't know, probably would happen again here, even against the UCLA team that maybe is known for their defense. The Pac-12, but we pumped them up a little bit this year, certainly, and they're probably worthy of their bet, but they're still have some issues, defensively. It's tough to throw in some of these Colorado historical numbers with not covering spreads because that they're a completely different team, but to a certain extent, they're kind of uh, leaving. They're still kind of not covering spreads in a way because the bookmakers have done a pretty nice job with them. It feels like here's Thomas Lewis who wants to lay the points with UCLA. Here's Blake says, "Give me the Bruins as well." See, I don't know. I feel like this is a you know spot that I want to play Colorado. I mean, I don't. Okay, maybe UCLA has one of the better defenses in the Pac-12. I mean, I don't think they're Utah. Uh, Defense necessarily, but are we still dealing with this number here? We're just making sure on this with this game at 15 and the total at 61. Yeah, looks like it here certainly. Put yesterday. I'm throwing that page right into the garbage, you guys. We did have a lot of free winners. Thank you for that comment, and yeah, we raced a big win from Thursday. That's for sure. All right, for Colorado though, 3-13 as a road underdog. Last 16 games against the spread, getting points on the road. Now that part has never changed, right? But here we are still. We do have Colorado getting healthier here a little bit. UCLA they lost at Utah 14-7, getting 3.5 points. They lost at Oregon State as well by 12 points. So UCLA has been going under big time so far. This total dropped significantly. Now Circa did open it as high as 71 and a half, or we saw 71 and a half anyway in the opener. But I think by the time most bettors got to market, it was 65. And we've still seen a big drop here. But I don't feel like this is all about UCLA defense necessarily in this one. I think they adjustment. While granted, it feels like it's a lot of sharp action to a certain extent. I'm going to fade it, and I think there's value. When I say value, and if there was something that was 71 and a half or even 65 and now it's 61, to me the sale is on the over here. And I know a lot of people are saying, hey, the Bruins have a really good defense. They'll slow Colorado. Well, not if the Bruins are taking advantage of Colorado's poor defense a little bit. To me, I think Colorado's the type that just keeps coming back. And Peasy, we got to find a way. We're going to work that in somehow. I don't know how we could, this is a little bit different here, right? So here, Thomas saying, the Bruins, the size differential here. What else here we got? Lazzy wants Colorado. Ferner says, give me a little bit more. Um, I don't know, Chad. Is there though? I mean, look, this was as high as 17. So even if Burner's buying up to 19, that's probably a little bit too expensive. I probably would just have to, at this point, if it's going to sit here at 15, I'd probably only be able to go to maybe 18 and a half. Yeah, thank you, Nunya here, like and smash. And maybe Thomas, I don't know if I'll get to a, maybe I'm definitely the lean. I think Colorado here, but I'm going to end up. I'm going to give out the over as my free play in this one. Three of the last three meetings between these two have gone over. That's with really bad Colorado and UCLA that probably hasn't been as good as this. Blake says this they got the adjustment right now, so I'm thinking you know Moore hasn't been, and the Bruins. We'll see what the Bruins do in the future at quarterback. Right, Moore. Hey, that's their guy, and I think he's fine. I mean, he's only a freshman, but there's some inconsistencies here. All right, let's do it. I'll take the over in this one. Let me give me one moment. All right, clear head now. Let's keep going in this one. And nice to see you guys having a great sports betting conversation in the chat. And we'll keep moving here with the Bucks today in this one, going up against Wisconsin on the road. All right. And for Wisconsin here, this one, Ohio State opened a 12-point favorite or so. Well, I want to say, you know what? There was even a lower number in the early look aheads. I saw, um, in a look ahead line, Ohio State as low as 9.5, and that was at a pretty square offshore book that, was offering it kind of early. So obviously here Ohio State's still doing pretty well. They're not the usual world beaters that we expect from them, but good enough to be to have it on the wrong. Did you guys already say in the chat that I have it on the wrong team here? Have the spread on the wrong team. 30 minutes, two typos. Can't fret here. So, all right. And here's Thomas. He's ready to go already and lay the points here with Ohio State. I would imagine that the Ohio State, the defense travels and maybe the offense has more of a problem here against Wisconsin. Now, this total has kind of been going up a little bit, just slightly, but man, 46.5 now at the bottom, and this one opened mostly at maybe not much movement, but I did see an opener as low as 43.5. So I don't know. Feels like it's creating a little bit of value on the under here. Ohio State, I do expect them to go in and, win this game, whether or not they get this money or not. Maybe I'm not ready to pick that necessarily here on the air at this time, but for me, I would think that if they do go in and can win this game by a couple of touchdowns, that's going to result in them being able to limit Wisconsin offensively. For me, and that's I think how Ohio State will eventually win this game, and maybe it stays under the Bucks. We're not discrediting their 7-0 record right now. It just feels like nobody's talking about Ohio State in the group of, if they go undefeated, obviously that's going to be, the offense. Look, see, I mean, these are typical comments right now, right? The offense needs to wake up. Maybe they don't have the offense we've seen in the past or whatever. But if that defense works, right? Ferner says, lay 12.5 here. So I will say Ohio State, I mean, usually because of their offense, they go over quite a bit. I mean, they've gone over here in 22 of their last 34 games on the road. But Ohio State 9-3-1 against the number in this series. And Chad probably just to lay the first half here, but he's still laying well over a touchdown here. And Terrell says Wisconsin ain't going to be ready for this one. They better have some defense, right? In this one, Wisconsin 9-4 to the under, last 13 as an underdog, but they're not getting spreads at all right now. 3-7-1 against the spread. Their last 11 games, if you will, a full season, just about a full season here, with going under considerably in this one, and that's how I'm going to go. If it's going to be 46, I'm going to go under. Wisconsin does all they can to limit Ohio State. Maybe Ohio State gets the win here, but 28-14, that gets it done somewhere right in there. That would be right on the spread. Keep it under. So I don't know. I'm just not necessarily either tipping my hand or totally confident in the spread. Want to give you a play here in this one. I'm going under. Vanderbilt and Ole Miss on Saturday. College football pick. Take a look. Ole Miss, big favorite here, 25 points. Yeah, maybe it's even down to 24.5. Now, I did see a low open of as low as 21.5 on a look ahead. And then, it's been a pretty rough season, certainly for Vanderbilt. And, they are, I don't know, they're one of the, in a way, they're one of the worst teams in the country. But when you start talking about, if the spread did open somewhere 21.5, and I think the general openers look to be, 24s and right around this range, but it doesn't matter really because Vanderbilt, they just stay in there every time against very good teams. Look, they're in the midst of their SEC schedule, just like always. They're always one of the lower teams in there. We make fun of them. So get rid of some of these SEC. Let's do a merger and kind of send them out. Maybe we can make some really crummy conferences. We're not going to say that. I'm just wasting time here at this point because really for Vanderbilt, look what they've done so far. They covered against Georgia. They were getting 31 points or more. They only lost that one by 17. They were playing Florida, yeah, they lost by 24. They were getting 18. They didn't cover any spreads. Look, they didn't cover any spreads for the longest time. But it's funny because even though they didn't cover, they're just maybe usually less than a touchdown from it. So that's what it feels like to me, is that I want to just keep trying to grab these points with Vanderbilt. Like it just is going too high. And that I don't know. So look, they lost to Missouri by 17. They were getting 14. They did not cover, but they hung in there. UK, they lost by 17. They were getting 13. It's not like they were any of these games where they were getting double digits and they were getting 14 points and they lost by 35. And I guess you're not supposed to do that. They're still not getting the money. So I'm trying to make the case here for Vanderbilt just because I feel like even with Ole Miss, the line's just a little bit uh, too high. That cover last week against Georgia was Vanderbilt's first cover in like a year, right? So that's an accomplishment in itself. So I think I'm going to be all alone here. Thomas is on Ole Miss, and let's see what else. Anything good? Thank you, Nunya, for your plays in there. And I did think about that actually. We were talking about those names, and when we were looking it up, you talked about PZ if you're still there. But you know what? That really is Mr. Bittler's play name, one of his play names, actually, the money shot. So we'll have to. I don't know. I'm going to see how. I think he uses it quite a bit. So I'll just have to rethink that. I'm trying to find my own catchphrase name. That's all. My own play of the day name. Everybody's got one, it seems like, but me. Maybe I'm not that guy. All right, Ole Miss team total. I didn't look at it, but I would imagine that it is somewhere. Let me see. What's the line? The line is it 62 still? All right. I would imagine 31, 12. I would imagine it's 43 and a half or so. I like that one, PZ. Darn it. I don't know what I can do, but I'm pretty sure Mr. Bittler, a pretty good handicapper, of course, uh, veteran capper. Uh, Hi, Joseph. Nice to see you today. All right. Anyways, just give me Vanderbilt here. Yeah, we give out free picks. We give out a lot of picks, good or bad. But you know what? Why pass, right? I guess if you look at it and it's right on, you could just pass. But um, how many times it lands exactly on the number? Let's take a pick. All right. North Carolina and uh, Georgia Tech here in this one. Now we're on 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific with North Carolina on the road at Tech. I saw openers as high in this one as 14 points for North Carolina, and I saw a total that when we were on the opening lines show, it was mostly felt like 11 and a half, went up to 12, and then went to 14, or was that another? I'm not sure. But the total opened 64 and a half. I have seen as low as 61 with North Carolina and Georgia Tech. North Carolina, of course, comes in with that 6-1 record. They're 2-0 on the road so far. Tech 3-4 with a 1-3 record at home thus far. And I don't know if Georgia Tech's going to be able to get enough points to help this game get into the 60s here. I would figure they are. Oh, that is great, Chad. Thank you for that information. Uh, Chad, I do want to read if that is. I will check that out because I do like reading. I like reading sports betting books, and there aren't that many. All right. Anyways, let me get back to this one with Georgia Tech. I say that their offense. I mean, they're 5-2 to the over. That's one thing, and this series has gone over in 8 of the last 12 meetings. But I'm not sure that Georgia Tech. Yeah, I mean, King's been good. He does have 9 interceptions here, and you are going up against May, certainly one of the top yardage quarterbacks in the country. So I get the line being high here, but this should still be a decent enough game. I would think that maybe it could be considered on the low here with these two teams. North Carolina, especially as a double digit favorite in the game, which uh, in itself does seem like Georgia Tech has made some strides here coming in with their record, pretty decent anyway. So let's see on these numbers how they've shifted here because to me the sharps are all uh, pretty strong on the over, but I just feel like it's gone a little bit too high here. If it's 65 or maybe there's 64 and a halfs out there, I could stand maybe to push it down a little bit in this one, but um, yeah, I think Georgia Tech's got enough defense. I'm going to be on the under in this game with North Carolina and Georgia Tech, despite this. Um, yeah, I mean, look, Georgia Tech's been kind of subtly decent with their passing game this season. They average 8.1 yards per attempt. And if you compare that to North Carolina at 8.6, I mean, that's not making an argument here for my under, but if anything, North Carolina, they do allow less than 4 yards per rushing attempt. So, all right, Ferner here. He said it looks like he's saying buy it down to 9.5 and still take it under, right? All right, better just keep it moving here with games today. with Washington State and Arizona State. Well, I probably could have passed on maybe previewing this one, and we got so many games today. And man, it's just been we talk up the Pac-12 all year long here, right? And what a great year it's been. But Arizona State, a team that they've had occasions where they've been okay, but right now it doesn't feel like they've been too good. And this total has moved down here to 49 and a half. Oh boy. Uh, this is one I thought I was going to be maybe interested in an under here, but uh, I don't know. Probably end up just maybe giving it out here on the show right now. You have Washington; they've lost their last three games. They've given up some Washington State, of course, they've given up some big numbers in those games. Probably 35-point average in those three losses. The Cougars were outgained in those games. They gave up over 1,500 yards total in their last three games, while not even reaching 1,000 yards of offense. But this is their role. They are 7-1 in their last eight games as a road favorite for Arizona State. They haven't beaten a Division One team yet. The only team that they beat is Southern Utah. So it's been bad. If anything, you're getting maybe a little bit of a discount here. I've seen a line as high as 7 in this game. Now, I did see it as low as 5. In fact, I show some 5s currently out there right now with Washington State. So, but this one, it does just keep moving lower, it seems here. Maybe it was as high as 51 and a half, and now we're looking definitely at 49 and a half, no matter uh, pretty much where you look. And that's where I'm going to go. I think it does go under this number. Maybe it's not the best value for me to a certain extent. And Chad says public is all over Arizona State, right? Is that what you're saying here? And yeah, I do see that they are all over Arizona State in this one. That's kind of peculiar, right? For a public team. I mean, an 80% public ticket here, taking this home dog. And, I know Tony's on Arizona State on his video as well, but wow, Chad, that is something. I mean, I'd probably be more apt to lay it, but I'm not sure right now. I'll take the under Washington State and Arizona State. All right, Cincinnati going to be on the road against Oklahoma State in this one. And Oklahoma State, 7.5-point favorite here at home against Cincinnati. All right. And in this one for the Cowboys coming in with this matchup, they've won their last three games in a row now, and averaging in those games probably about 39, 40 points. They scored 29, 39, 48. So, but they have allowed 32 or more points in four of their last five games. So for the Cowboys, they are 16-7 against the spread in their last 23 conference games. That's pretty strong, but you are laying a little bit of a hook here right now with that 7.5. And Cincinnati certainly, even with this, I don't know, 2-5 right now, certainly got to raise some red flags. They've only beat Pittsburgh. We tried to maybe think that Cincinnati had a pretty good team, but and they've had some tough games, but just doesn't seem to work out necessarily. Cincinnati, they do run the ball okay, um, but who'd they beat? They beat Pittsburgh. That was their only 1A win, I think. Here's Ferner on Oklahoma State in this one. Yeah, I wish there was a little bit cheaper price here. What's that total at? That total's at 53. That's been going down, down, down as well. Oklahoma State has gone over in 3 of their last 4 games, but I don't know if Cincinnati's going to have enough offense necessarily to help this one get over the way they've been looking. In Oklahoma State, they've had some, nice performances on defense at home so far. So I'm probably apt to go under here and think that Cincinnati's not going to be able to produce enough points. Oklahoma State has gone 10-3 to the under in their last 13 games overall. And there's a Blake. He says we want to go under. Yeah, the Undertaker. There are a couple guys out there kind of doing that one too. I'm not trying to be hard on you guys, and it's just a nickname. And who knows? Maybe I'm a guy who doesn't need a nickname. I've always been a nickname guy. My family doesn't even call me Ramon. They have a nickname for me, and I'm not going to share it here. That's between my family and I. If anybody types in the chat, anybody in my Facebook watching, any of my family and friends, if you want to type in what everybody calls me, you can do that. But I'm not going to say it. If you guys know, someone can type it in and I'll acknowledge it. It's a cute name. And it's a, kind of a kid name, but I like it. So I'm still a kid. All right, here we go. Keep it rolling. Cincinnati and Oklahoma State. I'm going to go under in this one. Like I said, with Oklahoma State, they've been a pretty consistent under. 10 of their last 13 overall going under. They are just 3-4 to the under this season, but I'll look for them to go under in this one. They already went under in a similar spot against Kansas State. Remember, they beat Kansas State at home. Actually, it was an upset in that one, right? Kansas State came in, but that one ended up going for 50 points in a home game. And I'll take the under with Cincinnati and Oklahoma State. All right, we got a big one here in this one with UNLV, big in the terms of this conference, a game of the year here with UNLV and Fresno, and UNLV on the road getting these points here. UNLV, they haven't been in this type of position in a very long time, and I've enjoyed, since being in Vegas here nearly a year now, the coverage and learning and growing with this team a little bit, seeing what they've been up to. And I think one of the things for this team is, playing in this beautiful stadium. Now, granted, they still have their on-campus facilities and all that, but the proximity of the stadium and the college are very, very close, so it's not a factor like that. This is their home stadium, not this game. I'm just saying one thing that's going to help UNLV is to play in one of the most state-of-the-art, beautiful stadiums. There's never going to be a sellout crowd there or anything, or even a sparse crowd. But when you have a beautiful facility like that, you can get far more people into games that will be interested in going to the games because it's, comfortable, put a good product out there. The up arrows here in this one for UNLV this season and moving forward, because I believe, and I don't know if that's been the case here. I think it's more about what Odom has done with this program, but you're going to be able to get a little bit higher, better level of recruit, especially in a fertile place where players, Vegas, look, it's not huge. I know this. I've been here now, but there's good talent here as well. They can keep a little bit of homegrown, but you can attract a little bit of talent maybe from the West and this kind of Wild West it's going to be now moving forward when these other teams in the West get left behind from the big money a little bit. Moving forward, these Mountain West teams they're going to be screwed, really. So, anyways, I'm taking the Rebels here. Plus, is it really 9 now? Has it been going up steadily? It feels like maybe. I mean, it's even 9.5 right now. UNLV has been, pretty terrific. Yeah. Is Fresno? Look, they've had some great teams in the past, right? I mean, this is a program that can be well established in this conference. They've had big times, but here's the thing: they're still both teams are 6-1. Fresno State's 3-4 against the spread. UNLV They're 6-1 against the spread. So let's take UNLV to stay in this game. This is a huge game for them. One of the biggest games they've played in years and years and years, if not in the modern, I don't say modern era, but in a thing where the generation, you figure 10 year cycle, something like this is a big deal for UNLV. Too bad they're on the road here. They'll hang in there, I would think. In this one, I'm gonna take the Rebels for sure. Probably should premium them, but let's take the Rebs here. Fresno State's good, no make no mistake, but good for this level anyway. All right, I got one more in college football I'm going to look at here with Oregon State taking on Arizona tonight. Boy, the steam's rolling in on this FCS action. I don't ever regret being here with you guys and doing this, but when I see these moves coming in like this, I'm like, oh, how many points are we missing out on? How many games are we going to lose with missing these moves? All right, but let's keep it going here with Oregon State going up against Arizona. Here with Arizona getting 3 points at home from the beat. Am I going to be on all total? No, I gave up to UNLV just now, but and I gave out a few sides, I guess. But I think I feel like I'm giving out all totals on this show today with Oregon State here at Arizona. Late action out west. I think this is where we'll kind of draw the line a little bit. I won't cover some of those Mountain West games, but for me in this one, I see a total here that has continued to let me get the right move on this. Currently at 56 and a half. Maybe we haven't actually seen that much movement on this game after all. I did see a low of 55 and a half and maybe a high of 50. 58-ish or so, but man, Oregon State, as good as they've been this season, to continue to have to now lay points. Has there been a move? I saw Oregon State opened 5 at on Sunday when we did those circa opening moves. Oregon State usually is covered in this series, but usually they're a dog. So I don't think we can equate the fact that they've covered 14 of the last 19 games between these two because this is a different era. And Arizona, they've been okay with their with either quarterback in there. They've been just fine this season. I mean, Arizona's 6-1 against the spread this year. Oregon State's just 5-2. So who's been the bigger surprise this year necessarily? We know it's been Oregon State here, but I think this will probably be a pretty decent game. You have Oregon State. This is the time of the year. Usually they're starting to give up some points this time of year. They usually don't have the offense necessarily. I mean, this has been an unprecedented run for Oregon State, so they're usually not quite this good. I figure this one, to me, ends up, let me make sure I give the right play here.
Final.
I know just wanted to make sure on this one. Gosh, yeah, I mean, I've almost premium here, but let's do it. We're going over in this one at 56 and a half tonight. Look, Arizona's passing offense could still be pretty good. They've used 2 quarterbacks this year. They've passed for over 2,000 yards. Really very, very efficient as far as expectations are concerned. I don't think they've been super efficient. I'm just saying, I don't know if we saw necessarily, especially the fact that they've had to play their 2 quarterbacks this season. But when Fafita's come in there, he has been fine. So we'll see how it goes tonight. But I would think over for me is going to get the call. Maybe I could just get the latest information on that. I think we knew for sure what Arizona was up to tonight. Delora still questionable with the leg injury. Doesn't matter. I think we'd want Fafita in there the way he has the way he's looked actually. So let's just take the over here. We'll give it out at 57. Oregon State and Arizona. That's my college football for today. Thank you everybody for listening to those games. Should be a fun night. We're gonna keep it rolling. Here on the morning's team. And we're going to the NHL next just to get you guys kind of ready here. Let me shift around, make sure I get everything just perfect in the right place with my goalies. Uh, that seems like when we do the Saturdays, we get to this time. Maybe I haven't been giving you guys the best the best goalies. I know we've missed a couple, and this stuff they could change them. As we go along, but we do want to try to give you what we think will be the goalie situation in the games tonight. So here we go. I'm just about set, crew, for the action here. The Anaheim Ducks take on the Philadelphia Flyers tonight. NHL action for Saturday. You have the Ducks.
Final.
The Ducks have 3 wins already. I think this is a real big positive right now for the Ducks, especially considering, how other bad teams have started to play kind of well this year. Not saying the Ducks are, turning it around, but I don't think we necessarily saw this. And we don't even know. I mean, I'm not saying anything about the Ducks or any turnaround or anything, but the 3 wins so far, that has to be very, very positive. And if I'm playing the Philadelphia Flyers and I got a team that's been playing decent, I'm probably going to be on them. I mean, I don't want the Flyers at $1.80 or whatever it is here. Yeah, it looks mostly like $1.80 in this one, but the Flyers have been, what can you say? They've been actually good this year, and hats off to them because I'm the first to come on and make fun of the Flyers as soon as they start, performing poorly. But here, I think what kind of price can we get in this one?
Final.
I've seen report that maybe Dostal could be in goal here for the Ducks today. That might not be the best situation. I'm always more willing to take, Luke Gibson here, Fernando telling me he's ready to take the Ducks on the money line today. And pretty happy with the Ducks. Let me just bring up the latest line, I guess, just to make sure. Here in this one, at maybe down to $1.75 at some sharp shops, and I think that 6 under 15 is
Final.
pretty safe here. Philadelphia's gone over in 9 of their last 13 games at home. Lewis says, "Hey, don't forget these 2 teams just played last week, and they only play twice a season, so you might want to check out the fact that they played last week." But let me see, where was that? No, are you sure, Lewis? No. Anaheim. They played They played Boston from the Eastern Conference. They played at Columbus. But no, not yet. Last meeting here was they played their 2 games last year. Or did you say they play again on? Oh, the Ducks beat the Bruins. Thank you, Lewis. I just can't read. That's all. Yeah, no doubt the Ducks beat the Bruins. I thought we were on them in that game. Actually, I thought that said Ducks beat the Flyers last week. I only say that because last year they played their 2 games, I believe, in close proximity in January, 2 weeks apart. So I don't know what the plan is this year. I'm taking Anaheim here though, plus a goal and a half, and I like the way that Anaheim is playing. Jacoby says take the Flyers here at minus $1.80 or so. No problem there, but uh, for me, I'm willing to try Anaheim here. They've done okay so far. Uh, 2 wins on the road. So uh, that's great. And Flyers undefeated at home thus far. Note the two teams 5-9 so far to the under here, but I'm going to take in an early start. Don't forget as well. Anaheim. It will be a 10 o'clock start here, but Anaheim's been on this trip for a couple of days now. They played so far. They got an overtime win at Columbus, an overtime win at Boston, as mentioned, and wouldn't surprise me if this is an overtime game as well. But Salty Fly Guy says no overtime, Philly in regulation. I'll take Anaheim plus a goal and a half. Kraken here on the road against the Florida Panthers in this one. And Bobrovsky is definitely in there today for the Panthers. He was confirmed by the beat writers yesterday. Comes in with a 2-3 record with a 3.05 goals against and 90% save percentage. Decord, want to make fun of him a little bit, but so far, 2-0-2, 2.82 goals against, and a 91% save percentage so far. So I don't know. I'd probably be still willing to trust the Kraken here. When are they going to get their act together on the road? Maybe they're already getting it together a little bit on the road here with Seattle. They have a pretty okay record, I'd say. They were terrific, obviously, last year. Everybody knows that, but they already have one win on the road so far. They've also gained another point. They do have 2 losses, but Florida 3-3 with a 2-1 record at home so far this season. But I don't know, laying a pretty good number here in a game where I would think that you know I know no one's impressed with Decord so far, but what are we seeing necessarily from Florida? Now, Seattle has gone under in 6 of their 8 games thus far. Florida's gone under in 9 of their last 12 off of a win. So I might be interested in this one actually on the total. Let me give out Seattle here plus a goal. This one's probably going to cost me if I take him on the puck line. I don't want them to be $1.75. Ooh, boy. All right, take the Kraken on the money line here, and yeah, maybe we can sprinkle. We can get a little bit on the puck line. Maybe try to work this one down to plus 1 goal here for Seattle, but I want to take Seattle in this one. I don't think Decord is supplanting Grubauer just yet in goal, but uh, Philippe Grubauer has an 0-4 record thus far. I'm sure they'll just look to get him right. I mean, you're not going to be able to, move forward with that if there's some problem. But I mean, still, Grubauer has, uh, you know, he'll be in there enough, but maybe not currently. Maybe we'll see more of this goaltender a little bit here. But Bobrovsky definitely in there. He's 2-3 so far. All right, the Jets will be at the Habs here tonight on Saturday. Uh, Jets here on the road, favored minus $1.50 or so. Check that out. $1.50, 6.5 under minus 120, maybe even $1.25 here with this one. And let's take a look with the Jets and my Canadians. I'm showing Hellebuck for the Jets. And will it be Jake Allen for Montreal. Yeah, it looks like these could be the goalies here today. It looks like the sites are pretty much aligned here. Winnipeg comes in with a 4-3 record, and uh, so far, and uh, uh, Montreal comes in 4-2. Uh, Montreal, however, at home 3-2. Jets 2-1 on the road. Jets pretty big favorite here, $1.50, maybe even $1.55. This has been, well, man, that's a high price. I kind of want to back my Canadians, but I don't trust them against the Jets, unfortunately. Montreal, of course, this has been a nice surprise for them right now to get off to this kind of start, and I'm pretty happy with it. 4-2 record so far, but man, the Jets. Uh, let's see what you guys have to say about this one. Oh, you guys aren't even uh, too hot on this game here necessarily. Okay, well, I get it. All right. Montreal. How about Montreal 7-2 to the over in their last 9 games as an underdog? They've also gone 8-3 to their over, dating back to late last season. Montreal uh, has they won the last time they played Winnipeg here 4-1. That was their last meeting. It was back in January. And let's see what the puck line is for the Canadian. Minus 190. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take the Jets in this one, even at $1.50. If Montreal wins this one, maybe they really are turning into something. But I'm gonna fade them just one time here on the show. I'm not too hot on this game right now necessarily, but I am looking at the total in this one for a premium. So better just leave it here at this one. Jets for sure. Don't let's not discredit what Montreal. I mean, maybe I'm looking at it with uh, you know rouge, uh, rouge and blanc and blue glasses, but I'll probably take the Jets. All right, you guys are talking me into it. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the Nashville Predators. NHL action for Saturday night. We've got another road favorite here with Toronto, $1.45, maybe even $1.50 here on the road tonight against the Predators. And I don't know, the Sharps, I think the Sharps are probably going to be on the Predators here in this one. And I don't know, that's probably the way I would go as well. I don't think I could even take them on the puck line. I'll probably just have to take them straight up here at plus money. But right now against the Leafs, I think I'm willing to do that. Do we need to see a little bit of a turnaround from Nashville? Yeah, I'd say so. But Toronto, 5-2, 3-1 on the road. They've done a nice job so far. But Saros in there, I'm willing to take a shot here at this underdog on a Saturday night with Toronto coming in here. Look, Toronto's been terrific on the road. There's no doubt about it. But Nashville, they need to turn it around a little bit. I think they're going to be a little bit better than what we've shown thus far. They lost their last game to Vancouver at home, 3-2, but they did beat the Rangers on the road, 4-1. They've won 2 of their last 3 games. Meanwhile, Toronto, they're on a 3-game winning streak. But man, this road trip is getting long now. This is their 5th game here on the road trip. They lost to Florida to start the road trip. They beat Tampa Bay in overtime. They beat Washington. Then they beat Dallas 2 nights ago. Remember, 4-1. So here's Smoke. Nice to see you, sir. Always great to see you. Appreciate it very much. And missed you last night. I don't know if you showed up or if I didn't say hi. Sorry about that. But I know we talked about. I know they talked about you in a good way.
System play.
I think Fernando wants to go under here, and that's you know what, Fernando. This one's so close. I mean, I could never make it a premium, but as long as it doesn't get too far off of $1.20, I'm probably willing to go under. If it was six over 20, I'd probably go over. I mean, I really think that that's what we're looking at with this game. We're going to be right there in that 6.5. Ferner is going to take the Leafs as the Preds haven't hit a spot yet necessarily. Maybe they need weaker, maybe they need a weaker opponent in order to get the win here. But I'm going to try Nashville as an underdog. You know what? I'm going to give it out. At 6.5. No, I better not. Let's just give out Nashville. Like I said, I like under 6.5 minus 120, but if it's any higher juiced, I don't feel that good about it. And like I said, if it was 6 over, I'd go over. So that's probably not solid enough. All right, the Islanders and the Blue Jackets here on the road. The Islanders. We got another road favorite tonight. Boy, I have a feeling I might, just kind of broad brush some of these underdogs for some reason, especially right now a team like Columbus that, quite frankly, has been, pretty good. So have the Islanders. Islanders have been also a nice. I don't want to say a surprise anymore. We've almost come to expect them to be okay, improving, pretty decent. The way let me just back up one note. We just gave out Nashville. They're getting steamed right now, you guys. No doubt about it. If you agree with me and you want Nashville, please go take them right now. This game is on the move right now, Nashville. If you like Toronto, just hold on a minute because this game is moving in the favor of Nashville right now. One of those steam plays. I don't know if you guys hear it. I'm trying to leave the bells and whistles on a little bit when the news is coming across. So if you're hearing that, so the steam move that came across just moments ago was on Nashville minus $1.20 plus $1.27 is what they took it at. Let's continue on. Islanders and Blue Jackets here, and another home dog. Maybe that's going to be what I'm going to be interested in here. I think the way this keeps going. With these road favorites. Look, I'm not down on the Islanders. It's been really nice what they're doing right now, especially as a favorite, where they've done a nice job. But a road favorite, these Islanders that, they're winning, but they don't win by much. So it ends up being a close game. They're 3-2 overall, and they've been favored in a few games, but they've also gone just 1-5 against the puck line thus far. I think Columbus is playing a little bit better. This is only the Islanders' second road game of the season. I mean, I want the Blue Jackets for sure here. The total's gone under in 11 of the last 16 meetings between these two teams, and while Columbus has found wins few and far between over the last 3/4 for a while here. It seems like of late. Can't ignore the fact that they have 3 wins thus far this season. And have done a real nice job. The last 3 games that they've played have been all overtime games, so they're playing very, very tough. They lost at Montreal 4-3. They lost at Minnesota 5-4. They beat Minnesota 5-4 in overtime. They also lost at home to Anaheim. So still hanging out here back at home after the trip. They've been very comfortable, even though they just went to Montreal. They played so far. This is their their 6th home game of the season in 8 games. So give me Columbus. They're going to be comfortable at home. Better situation for them. I want Columbus. Feels almost premium, but there's just not enough. Like, I'm not seeing any. I do like to play the game that the sharps are on because I like to consider myself a sharp. You can't go around just calling yourself a sharp. If you guys say it, I'm thrilled. If you think I'm sharp and whatever, but my my information might move the line, Thomas, but you know, my little chunky bets probably aren't gonna, you know, they do impact my life and everyone. Like I said, what I've tried to be fair with everybody because everyone's bankroll is different, and one man's, you know, dollar is another man's dime, right? And I'm not talking nickels and dimes. I'm talking about like nickels and nickels. So, you know, what one man might be betting $100, another man
System
might be
play.
betting $1,000. The same impact, right? You just want to have that impact, that rush that we've all gotten. I mean, I remember going down to uh, Tijuana as a kid, or in Vegas, and just you know, the small bets were big back then. So, okay, when you're betting the landscape, though, you know, my bets are modest, but they're all over the place. I'm betting the landscape here. We don't just, yes, our best plays get the most money. Those are my premium picks. Here we go. The Senators going to take on the Penguins in this one. The Penguins are favored here at minus $1.45 or so, maybe even up $1.50. At some spots, man, this total continues to fly. I'm starting to see some sevens out there right now with Ottawa and Pittsburgh tonight. How about it? Feels like it. Feels like it should go over, doesn't it? Might as well just put it out there. Might as well just put the seven up there because in case we want to take seven. Let's call it 7 under 25. Let's call it 7 under 25 and be fair and see what you guys think about that. Because it does feel like right now that this one is going higher, 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 and I think it's going to go higher, 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 don't you? It feels like a 7 goal or more game. Um, Kind of want to give it out premium, but I feel pretty strong about it, and I'll just give it out right now. You know, with football today, who knows what kind of premiums we'll land on in the NHL by the time we get there. This one I've got pinned as as an over, but this line's gone up pretty high. I mean, it opened 6.5 over 30. I mean, right there, I'm already concerned, knowing I want to go over, knowing I'm going to lay the biggest price. And you know what? It's only going to be a couple of Lewis Eisenhower mortgages that we're going to play on the over in this one. So let's do it. Take it over 7 goals with Ottawa and Pittsburgh tonight. It feels like a freemium to me. No, you know, I don't see this being 3-2 in this one with Ottawa and Pittsburgh tonight. I'm sorry, I'm starting to do it to you again, like leaving the goalies off on a Saturday because there's so much going on. Um, Bad job by me. But let's see if we can at least get our Corpusalo and Yari. Does feel like what we're dealing with here. Yeah. Yeah, both teams coming in 3-4. Ottawa 0-2 on the road. I kind of want to give Ottawa a chance here, but a little bit hard on that. So, I also want to mention here. Let's get this off the screen. Seattle is also getting steamed. Another play that I gave you here today already as my play is getting hit right now, certainly by professionals. You look at this one, and now Seattle, they're down, I don't know, to as low as what, $1.25, maybe $1.30 at some sharp books. But we gave out Seattle. They're not moving on our account. And wow, Fernando, that is the coolest penguin. I mean, that like I know we can get, but that one like is almost like close to the logo. You know, emoji companies need to start putting all the sport. Can they do that with like the copyrights? We need sports teams logos so we can just boom and like show the emojis of the sports teams. Hello, hello, are you guys listening to me? I would love that. Would I love that? How much would I love it? All right. We had some fun with that, didn't we? I'm trying to get them all down here. What a What a childlike guy I am here. All right. Who loves me, baby? Let's keep it going here. We're almost done with the NHL, and we still got to go. We got to go, go, go. Join me later on the Who Bangin' channel. I'll have some FCS at 11:20 Eastern. I will, and I do want to say this. So I've just told you about how um, I'm giving out some winners here, hopefully, and my games are getting steamed. Well, just right now, as I gave out that under in Ottawa, Pittsburgh, save it, save your money at this point. Don't change the pick. I want to go over, but it is getting steamed to the over right now. I swear, you guys, you're going to want to hit not save it. I mean, go right now if you're going to bet it. I'm just saying we're laying some big tax now. This one is going through the roof. This one's getting steamed, man. Ottawa and Pittsburgh over. So everything that I'm giving out, it isn't because of me. I know you guys are moving numbers because you guys are big hitters, but uh, I'm on some sharp sides. I feel pretty good, kind of when my play comes out before the sharp move. There's no doubt that uh, one of the two major line services has sent out those three games of mine so far as Steam plays, and they're not has nothing to do with this. We can have fun and say it is, but you like when the sharps are coming in after you make your prognostication. It makes me feel like, um, you know, we're on the big money side. We're on the right money side. Okay, so here we go. Maybe you guys are moving the line. Red Wings, Bruins. Man, this what a throwback this is, right? We know the Bruins are still good. The Bruins are NHL title contender here, despite losing that game a couple of nights ago to Anaheim. Hey, that was fine, right? We're touting Anaheim a little bit in that one, but here the Red Wings, they're the pleasant surprise. You hope this is for real, kind of feels like to me. I want the Red Wings to make a comeback, in the glory days. Remember the great games that they would have with like the Avalanche, and they'd have fights before the game, even they'd drop the gloves before they dropped the puck. Sometimes with those two teams, and man, feels like Detroit's just playing really great right now, and I want more. I want more Detroit. What are they on the puck line? Minus $1.55. That'll be good enough, I'm pretty sure, for me today. At $1.55, yeah, I'll take a little sprinkle on the puck line. Love everything that Detroit is doing right now. Sure, has Boston dominated the series? Yeah. Is Boston better? Yeah, probably. But Red Wings right now, it all feels good with Detroit and this 5-2 start so far. They've gone 6-2 to the over so far, but Detroit has gone 2-5 to the under, and this has been pretty bad spot for Detroit. But if you look at the line, at plus $1.50 or so, and the improvement that they've had. Here's Ferner. He wants to take over in this game. And Husso is definitely confirmed in goal here for Detroit today. Not yet do we know if it'll be Swayman, but Husso 3-1-1, 3.37 goals against, and a 89% save percentage thus far for Ville Husso. For Swayman, he's won all three of his starts, 1.34 goals against. Obviously, he's terrific right now. Omark's been great too. The Bruins are great, but the Red Wings have done a real nice job so far. I'm willing to take another shot with them here to hang in the game with the Bruins tonight and have a great game as one of the featured games today for sure. Here. All right, here's the Rangers and the Canucks, and the Rangers here laying a pretty big number at this point. Is it really $1.55, $1.65. What is going on here with this today? Yeah, okay, I get it. You've got Casey DeSmith. No one likes him. He is going to be in goal today. I don't, I mean, someone's got to be in there, right? Yeah, it's DeSmith for sure today and not Demko. I don't know if that changes anything necessarily for anybody, but Vancouver's having a great start to the season. I mean, what's wrong with Vancouver? They're 5-2 so far. They've won both their home games. They have 3 wins on the road. I think things are going pretty swimmingly here so far for Vancouver. Can they keep it up and all the way like this? No, probably not. But man, considering they've won 3 straight games, they also hung in there when they played on the road at Tampa Bay. They played a lot of games. They've already played 5 road games, and they've got this big record. So, for whatever is going on in the NHL, this topsy turvy league, we're seeing bad teams become good and mediocre. It's almost like the good teams have remained good, the bad teams are becoming better, and the mediocre teams are becoming worse. I'm going to take Vancouver here. What's the puck? If it's minus $1.70, I'm not into it. $1.80. All right, give me Vancouver on the money line here in this one against the Rangers. I'm taking these home dogs today, tonight on Saturday, especially. To be fair, with and to be honest with the comments in the chat, I need a better day today, so I'm going to look to take a little bit of plus money. And you know what, you guys, look, I'm pretty. I had a rough day yesterday on those premiums. I'm going to tell you, the truth on some of these. And well, let me turn this off here. We already made our pick here, Vancouver. I gave out the Nashville Predators on this show just a few minutes ago. They are taking steam right now as well, according to a major line service. Not, I see one book moving, I'm calling it steam. I'm talking about one of the 2 major companies that most professional bettors use that say things like that, play steam play. Nashville has now come out as a major steam release by one of the line services. So far 4 of my games. Let's kill this hockey tonight. We want to get back on it. Hey, when you had a bad day, talk yourself up. The premiums weren't very good. We crushed the free play. We did do very well on the free play. Not with a football game. I in the World Series, I know that, but the puck and the NBA pretty good. So let's keep it going. I know you guys are keeping track. I do too. So I can't get one over on you guys. I don't know, Ferner. Is it just me? Is it just me and the Sharps, maybe? So I guess I could talk about that line a little bit and where it did move there with the Predators. And I think we just saw it come. Look at this. There it is right there. $1.13. And what did we talk about it just a little while ago? You know, when we were talking about plus $1.25 or so. So that one on the move here. This I got a live odds board behind me, and Lewis says, "Let's get it going." My guy around here doesn't bark anymore. He's a little bit too old to do any barking, but he knows everything that's going on. More steam, more FCS steam rolling in too. I'm excited. Let's wrap this up with the last game here of the night on the ice. Good thing I'm fired up today for this card after yesterday. Maybe that's why I did. I've got to say, those late games were wrapping up after the World Series, and it was exciting and good. And we did have the free winner with Arizona, but I wanted to turn in a little bit there. That's what you do on a couple of go to bed. All right, give me the where's the game? I know where I'm going with this one, and you guys can't stop me. I'm going with my Los Angeles Kings tonight against the Golden Knights. Come on, this is a toss up here. I didn't even put the line in. It's about a pick 'em, so it doesn't matter. And this is going to be a great series this year. with the Golden Knights. I think the total's probably 6.5 under 15. I've seen some 6 over 20 as well. What do you guys have as the total right now? I think I'm seeing 6 over 20 or 6.5 under 15. I'm seeing both. I think at this point, maybe it's 6 over 20. Let's just call it 6 over 20. Doesn't matter. I'm going with my Kings tonight against Red Hot Vegas. Certainly. Oh, hold on, you guys. Emergency technical issue here. Oh, all right. We're going to have this solved here in just a few days with all the equipment changes here that I've had. All right. Thanks a lot. Anyways, maybe we should at least try to preview the game and just instead of throwing the pick out there, huh? With Vegas here coming in uh, with that lone blemish, no, kind of a blemish. They still got the point in the game here in that last game, so no problem for Vegas yesterday. Good on Chicago. Look, it's Chicago, obviously. Like I said, you get a superstar, you're going to turn around immediately. I know that they're not going to win the Stanley Cup, but it feels like even Chicago. I know we're talking about a different game here, but it feels like you got to give this guy in the playoffs. Pardon me, you guys. Here we go. I'm allergic to the Blackhawks, I guess. Anyways, I'm going to take the Kings here tonight. Look, LA still when they're not favored yet. I don't know if they're going to move to a favorite, but still at home, pretty good. Golden Knights, look, they've won 39 of their last 52 games. It's been great here, but with Talbot, it's been decent here. LA, man, I just have to take him at this price. I know everyone's high on the Golden Knights. I am too. I'm sure they'll be right there. Thank you, Thomas. So this is going to be a nice late feature tonight, I would think, with the Knights and the Kings, two teams that are going to have to have a say out west. Yeah, are we talking Vegas? Are we talking Colorado? Are we talking Dallas as the top teams? Yeah, but do we have the Kings second to Vegas? You probably do too at this point. You don't have the Kraken up there. You don't have the Oil up there. Nashville's a far third. There's four teams in the West. The Kings are that fourth team. They are at home in this one. I'm going to take them tonight against the Golden Knights. This is a big game, and don't sleep on my King. Hey, I like them both. I like them both. I live in Vegas. I'm an old-time Kings fan from way back in the day watching Kings games. One of the first sports things that I did was watch hockey games at night off of the LA channels, because when we had cable, that meant you got the channels from LA. You got three channels from, I lived in San Diego, and you got from LA, you got channel 2, channel 4, channels. If you live in LA, you know what I'm talking about. Channel 2 was CBS then, channel 4 was NBC, channel 7 was ABC, and you had channel 5, you had KTLA, you had KCAT, and the Kings were on there with Bob Miller, and that's how I got to like hockey, because I was liking sports, and it was Southern California. All right, thanks everybody. That's hockey. Let's go to the NBA, and there are going to be some line changes here, and I'm not talking about hockey line changes. I have been seeing some moves here this morning in the NBA. I may be pivoting here on some of these games as we speak. I know I have my sheet ready on where we wanted to go, but we just got to look and see if there have been any sharp line moves, because, man, we've been dinging and we've been steaming. So let's get it rolling here with NBA action. The Bulls are a favorite at the Pistons. It's two of the Bulls minus 1.5, 215.5. These were lines as of a couple hours ago in the middle of the night. So we're starting to see the market move, and we've already seen a move here to the under in this one. And man, it has been a serious move, no doubt about it. I mean, almost looks very premium-y here in this one, and I like the under. All the games are night. This is 7:10 Eastern, 4:10 Pacific. I'm going under tonight in the game between the Bulls and the Pistons. This one opened here. Let's see. I think you saw it on the screen there, and I think that was the opener. I saw 219 actually as an opener, and now we're dealing with 215.5. Whatever the Bulls did last night. Look, that thing went way under against Toronto, as maybe as you might expect, right? Because of Toronto's supposed to be that defensive team, but the Bulls were kind of getting faded by a lot of people because they were saying, oh, they had a team meeting and the season just the season had just started, so we don't necessarily want any part of the Bulls if they're doing a team meeting just one game into the season. Well, you know what? The Bulls went out there in that game and ended up beating Toronto in that one, 104, 103. Now they didn't cover. That was the thing about it. I mean, I had Chicago. I thought, hey, team meeting first game. What better time for a team meeting? Everybody's all in panic mode, like uh, you don't want a team meeting with 3 games left in the season, right? I mean, if you want to do a team meeting, have it in the first game of the season. You guys just got together. You've been in practice for a few weeks. Hey, we didn't like what we saw on the court. Let's hash it out. But we're not passing to the right guys. That's what you do. That's how you make a team. You got to have meetings, you guys. And I'm not a meetings guy at work or anything like that. I'm like to hear from the bosses. I like their input. They give me great input. But no one likes to sit through a meeting, scheduled meetings we have a meeting when you need a meeting. Anyways, the Bulls are going to be on the road here, 1.5, 215.5. I'll take the under in this one here. The Bulls, yeah, they're on the back to back here. The Pistons are not. The Bulls played last night at home against the Raptors in overtime. By the way, we will mention it was a low scoring game, and the Bulls actually needed a little bit of a rally here. It was kind of actually a surprise that they. Surprised just the fact that they kind of came back, not that they couldn't come back or anything like that. So just a nice job is what it ended up being for the Bulls, even though they didn't cover. Nice job by them as a team, and I would imagine they probably could be probably pretty live here. They could be live. They are live. This is a toss-up, and I think it probably look to the home team, but I'm going to take the under as my play. Probably premium play, but let's give out the best right now. I want to give you guys the winners. And Knicks and Pelicans free NBA pick, and this one's for Saturday. I'm showing right now the Pelicans are a 3-point favorite, and the total here is 224. So just a slight move, it looks like, here to the Knicks and the under. Here in this one. And well, I don't know. I see a slight move. It opened as high as 225.5, now down to 224. After what we saw from the Knicks yesterday, I mean that they scored 69 points in the first half. I was on the under. I was wrong about what I saw, and I'm adjusting here on the fly. It feels like a little bit. And Ferner, they are, interestingly, Ferner, there is some rules in place this year that's going to change things quite a bit. It is supposed to make things better. I don't know if we've necessarily seen that to be the case just yet, but I think we're going to know more moving forward. Here's Panger wants to take the Knicks today. And I do too, Panger. The move is subtly here on the Knicks, and I actually like what I saw in this one. Chad says Knicks will be too tired. It was too physical last night in the game against the Hawks. That the Knicks ended up winning and covering. Hey, look, we gave out the Knicks yesterday. We are on the Knicks. We're going to be on them again here today. I mean, I think I do have a good feel on the Knicks. Look, we gave out a lot of winners yesterday on the show. We had the Pistons, we had the Grizzlies, we had the Thunder Cavs under. We gave you the Knicks yesterday. The Celtics, that probably was a push, but we had the Spurs yesterday as well. And the Jazz, we gave out the Jazz yesterday. We gave out the Magic. A lot of free winners was mentioned. 8-4. It could have arguably been 9-3-1 or 9-2-2 there, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on those pushes. I'll move them to losses and call it 8-4 yesterday. Could have got sided on those or lost by a hook there. Anyways, let's continue on. I like the Knicks here. I was on the Knicks yesterday. I know it's a back to back here. In this one, but look, the move is already on the Knicks subtly here. I like the Knicks in this one, and probably I would feel like another high scoring game against the Pelicans. That's what it feels like. This one's going to end up the type of game we're going to see here tonight. The Sharps are. It looks like they're. Let me see here. The Sharps look to be split. So, I mean, that leaves it on me. I mean, I'm going over, but probably if I do, it might be a premium. Fernando's going over. You handle it, Fernando. Yeah. Oh no, we know. And the back to backs here. Ferner likes the over. Hey, I'm gonna try to get this show through here. Let's take a look. We're almost done, actually. Grizzlies, Wizards in this one, and I'm showing it's Grizzlies, a 1 point favorite on the road here, and the total is 228. I think we could just leave that line probably up there. Let's not waste too much time updating things. Grizzlies are maybe the moves on Washington. Okay, I better change it because I might want to take Washington here. Let's see what you guys think and preview the game a little bit in this one. So, what's that total? 228. It was as low as 225 and a half. I don't mind that move to the over. Maybe the value's gone a little bit here, but boy, this one is tough. You know what? I am going to go on the over. Actually, I did see Tony liked it too. I saw his video on the game. I already liked it over. Maybe it's getting away from us a little bit. I don't know if I could get there with a premium, anyways. So let's jump on board with Tony in this one. I actually do look to sometimes maybe play opposite, not opposite Tony, not on a fade. I'm just saying if he goes with sometimes, and if I'm just giving out a free play and I don't have a premium on the other side, I'll just try to go with something else for a little variety kind of sometime. But no, I like the fact that he was on this. I'm on it as well. Ray says take the Wizards here. Let's see where the line goes here. I certainly would like at least a bucket with the Wizards at home against Memphis. Here. If I do, I would buy it up to like 2.5, three, whatever, and just hang on for dear life in a probably close game. tonight with these two. Pacers are going to take on the Cavaliers tonight. Cavaliers a 3-point favorite, and this total is 223.5. This one has dropped considerably on the total from 226. There's been two-way action on this total, and I'm not sure I'm ready to declare necessarily which way I'm going with it, but I do like Cleveland here at this discounted price of -3. I'm willing to lay it. I'll leave the 3.5 up there, give myself a little bit of a challenge in this one, but I'm looking to take the Cavs tonight against the Pacers. Look, the Pacers come in. They did win their opener. Good job, Pacers. The Cavaliers already have a loss. And while we think of the Cavaliers as maybe trying to get all their personnel healthy, they've had a few people out or whatever. Uh, I don't think the Pacers have made enough strides here necessarily. If this move is on the Pacers, good on them. And that's what it looks like has happened. In fact, I don't know. Maybe the Sharps are kind of outweighing the Sharps on the Cavs, maybe outweighing the Pacers a little bit. The Sharps on the Pacers, if you will, if I could categorize it as that from what I've seen with the ticket count and the current move. It's still just a little bit early. So I'm not ready to finalize here, and so if I need to make a pick, I'm going to be make a pick on the Cavs because I'm really interested in this total today. Possibly, let's take a look here. And nah, fading the back to backs all the time. Right, Chad? If we did, right, it would be too easy. We would just fade, like I would imagine we should be on half the teams that play back to backs. We should be on them half the time. It's all baked into the line, right? The Pacers all day. So Chad and I are going at it in this one. One of the sharpest guys in the chat, but Chad and I are going to be meeting up in this one. Yeah, Cavs off that back to back yesterday. Interestingly, and I try to, I'll have something on almost every game, even if it's just, like, hey, this game I hardly liked it. We'll just, throw 20 on it, watch it, keep it on the screen over there, see what happens, keep our eye on it. Yesterday with the Thunder and the Cavs, I could not get on a side. I could not get on a side. And that does, probably the only play I didn't side or total I didn't get on in the NBA in one form or another. Just could not come to terms with it. Give me the Cavs here tonight. I'm laying the points. Me and Chad, heads up. Chad and I. Chad and I. 76ers here on the road, 3.5. This one down to 214. Woo! Going lower as we speak here. It opened as high as 217. So we're already seeing a bit of a move here, and we've got to update the line too. If we saw the Sixers as high as 4.5, and now it's down to 3.5. Move here on Toronto. Philadelphia lost their first game. It was on the road, while Toronto has a 1-1 record, and of course, they won their home opener. And for me in this one, just seeing where it's, kind of is. Oh, let me see what this is. Oh man, we gotta get this going here and end this show, man. I gotta get on this FCS. I only got an hour to get them in. Maybe we could have a premium here with the FCS today. You guys on the Sixers here in this one. All right. All right. You guys, this move on the total under certainly is pretty significant in this one. And I know they've been kind of coming in on Toronto, man. Have they bought it down already from 4.5 down to 3-ish so far? Wow. I better just give out this total under as my play. I think I was going premium here with it, but let's just give it out right now at 214 to the under here with Philadelphia and Toronto. Both of Toronto's games did go under so far. This series has gone under in 11 of the last 16 meetings. Philadelphia has gone under in 7 of their last 10 games as a favorite. And Philadelphia, we mentioned, their loss, of course, was that game to Milwaukee on opening night on the road. Uh, they did get the money there in that one. And meanwhile, for Toronto, they've covered in both their games, despite that 1-1 record and the loss yesterday in overtime at Chicago. They still got the money in that one. I'm going to take the under here, 76ers and the Raptors. Ray goes over. The Miami Heat is going to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. These two teams came into the NBA in the same year. No, that's not right. That's not right. The Heat came in with the Charlotte Hornets. That's what it was. Okay, whatever. The Timberwolves here a 5-point favorite, and the total 218 or so. Pretty much what you see right there on the screen. Miami comes in, of course, 1-1 so far. Minnesota, they lost their opening game of the season, so we'll see. I, I know, with Miami coming in off the back to back from yesterday against the uh, Celtics, and look, they did a pretty nice job getting the money there. Look, it went up to 8, so I don't know, uh, I gave out Boston. It looked like 8 to me. If you want to call it a loss, that's fine. I mean, it mostly was lower anyways. It opened as low as what, like 4.5, then went up to 8. You can give me a loss. I'm not too worried about it. Here, Chad's going to be on the Wolves in this one. Okay. Let's see here. For me tonight, I'm going to be on the under here, 218. Let me update it then. Definitely has gone down about a half a point. And what did I say the line was at? At 5. Okay. Let's just update it to the current line. There we go. Anyways, for me, I'm taking under here with Miami and Minnesota tonight at 218. Miami off the back to back here in this one and having to travel in and play Minnesota. So for me, the side, not sure, but the Sharps at this point have driven this line. The low was 4, but it did get us up as high as 6, and it sits 5. So your guess is as good as mine at this point. I feel pretty good about this under, actually. And again, if there wasn't a bunch of college football and we were sitting here with a 7-game NBA schedule, I'm pretty sure this one was be pretty close to making the premiums. There's just not going to be enough investigation or time, but my numbers say under, the move says under. This is the way I handicap you guys. So I'm going to have to say under on the show. Mm-hmm. Vernon says juice to the under, move going under. Is that what you're saying? One more. Jazz and Suns, and then we're out. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy the World Series tonight. Enjoy whatever is going on. But there's some other sports. We know we have a big boxing match coming up here today as well. If you're interested in that one, I did break down where I hosted my combat sports expert on a podcast. We broke down that fight between Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. It's going to be going on in Abu Dhabi tonight. Utah Jazz at Phoenix Suns here. This is action for the Saturday night. And man, I would think I saw Tony's video. Look, this one opened as low as 221 and a half, and it's now 223 and a half. I would imagine there's room to roll on this one. I would think this is going to be probably. We'll save this one on the total. It's going to be a late game, and I might be looking for a few extra premium, but feels like this one's going over tonight with these two teams here. Look, the Sharps may be on uh, Phoenix, but I'm probably willing to take a few points with Utah. Look, I was impressed by what Phoenix did, but I have a feeling they're going to be involved in some very, very close games here. And Werner talking about lines, juices under, ticket count goes over. And I don't know, Werner. I don't know if you and I have discussed it, debated it, if we're on the same page. And I like what you said right there because I am about ticket count. I know people come on here and, some of my favorite guys do ticket count and money and compare the two. And I don't mind that either. But I mostly am only interested in ticket count, to be honest. I don't really pay attention to money, like I said, because I know that, I know you're a high roller, wealthy guy, and my little bet here, even though I'm a professional and maybe you're a high rolling businessman. I don't know what you guys do. You're here with me. We're big sports fans. But this is what I do for a living: make picks, make bets, sit here all day, eat great food, watch great games, and talk on the internet. And money for people is different, but everyone holds that ticket, right? So ticket count for me, and then they say, hey, well, what about the guy who goes up? Uh, no doubt, Mike. A great point right here. Doesn't take into account those pools, but the offshore pools are in a lot of the ticket counts. Depends where you go, but the line services are pretty upfront about where they take those ticket counts from. So, and again, it's always going to be different, right? For two different books, right? Because if you have a game that is sitting, for example, let's take this game, the Suns, at 5.5. Let's say in another book, there's Suns -6. Well, uh, most people or some people who might shop for more, the book that's laying a 6 is going to get more action on the dog than the book that's laying 5.5 on the favorite, where they're going to get more action on the favorite. And that's just a fact. So, yeah, it's all relative and speculative. And that's what I love about it. And I know you're kind of tongue in cheek in jest there, the dark pool sports arbitration from the Wall Street banks. I love that. Okay, let's get into this one. Look, real quick, I'm already on Utah. I already said, all right. Do we need to break it down a little bit here? I don't think Phoenix is putting anybody away at this point with this team right now, and against a decent Utah team. This is what I think of Utah here in a game that I figure is going to end up at closer to 230 points. I'm sure tonight. Give me the Utah Jazz on the road. They will not get blown out in this one. They are live to win early season. I don't see anything special. I don't see anything special with either of these two teams. They're fine. They're good playoff contenders. Yes. Here, middle rung, lower to middle rung. Here, I think Phoenix is, they definitely have star players, and obviously one of their big issues tonight will be their personnel. I mean, don't forget. I mean, here you have a Phoenix team that's favored by 5.5, and well, Booker's doubtful, Bradley Beal's out, and Damon Lee's out. So you tell me. I mean, Utah, yeah, they're not as good as Phoenix, maybe, but tonight they should be. And after all, maybe the line is because it was, a back-to-back situation. But did Utah do a pretty nice job against the Clippers last night? They did a real nice job. Thank you, everybody, so much for spending nearly 2 hours with me on a Saturday. We're going to have a great day, whether you're going out to watch the kids play their ball, if you're just going to sit there watching a bunch of games like me, just enjoy. And thank you so much for all your support, your patronage. Head on over to tonyspicks.com. Please, Hey, give me another chance today. If you rode with me yesterday off the big day on Thursday and I didn't come through, hey, you got free credits. If you don't use me, use one of our other great handicappers. But look, you can do worse than going with me. I'm the top handicapper on the site here for 2023. And I'm going to come through today, I'm sure, with a strong day. College football over the last month. I'm the leading handicapper here on the site and for the year as well. So please check us out over at tonyspicks.com and use that promo code Tony T at checkout. Save 20%. I always say you don't want to miss my next winning streak. Did I think we were going to string it together there? Yeah, of course I did. And we'll get it back going tonight. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll catch you tomorrow. More morning steam on Sunday. We'll be talking NFL football, late games, and more here. So check me out in the Discord as well. Put it in the chat. You might have to scroll all the way up to the top, but I'm going to pass along more plays in there today for free as well. Check it out and put the notifications on. If you put the notifications on my post in the Discord, I think that's how it works. Or maybe you have to go with the whole Discord and you'll get some other, but nobody's putting too much stuff in there, just me and a couple other guys. It's usually good information. But if you put me on notifications through the Discord, you're going to get to your phone popping up just like all those little special bulletins. My latest injury reports that I get, I paid these line services. I get them just as fast as everybody. If I'm sitting at the computer, I type them in right away. You're going to get your little free picks will drop down. Sometimes maybe just 10, 15 minutes before game time with late picks that I'm not going to enter in as premium that I really like, that I want to get out there with the late information that came through that falls in between that late window of 10 minutes sometimes. I'm trying to give you guys a fair shake too, 10, 15 minutes from that late steam window. If it's late steam for me, I try to give you at least an hour or two. But over at Tony's Picks, we do have that feature. So thanks everybody so much. Hey, love